Uh, so it's St. Patrick's Day, so we have to, And so today I'm joined with my good friend Bernie, right
Hey.
here on my right.
Hello, hello.
Can you hear him all right?
Hello, hello.
Yeah, we can hear him. I can't see him, but maybe it's because I'm on a phone.
Oh,
So I see his hand
you
with the
see him better
big.
now.
Oh, there we go.
There I am.
Hey,
Is that me? Yeah.
nice to see you.
Nice to see you. Oh, I don't even see you at all. But
Yeah.
nice to hear you.
Um, so as usual, program for today, mini presentation. And then we're going to do a BYOB. Hi, Kevin.
I see Kevin.
BYOB, bring your own brand.
Oh, yes.
Oh, here you go. Cheers, Kevin.
Oh, got the same one too. Nice. Hey. Awesome.
Can you guys see the presentation and is not mirrored?
Yes, I can see it perfectly, not mirrored.
Perfect. Let me double check. All right, so big fish, small pound, or small fish, big pound. If you have any question at any moment, please feel free to
interject.
Ask. Yeah.
Awesome.
So we're gonna focus on focus today, and something I really am advocating a lot when I do branding is to always try to focus as much as you can. And something like a slide that I put every time, every week now, is don't try to speak to everyone and don't try to speak like everyone, right? So you want to find your niche, try to adapt your language to that niche and not just try to add more noise. And, as we've seen in the first episode, we receive 34 gigs of information every day as humans. 100,000 words. Wow. So if you try to speak to everyone, you're not making yourself different. You're just adding to that. And you're not standing out. So we're gonna make a quick experience. Good thing Kevin left because I know he was gonna modify all my numbers. I'm just kidding, but this is for the sake of that example. I know there's much more into it than just those quick numbers, but we're gonna do the example of the small fish in a big pond and the big fish in a small pond. So we're gonna start with the small fish in a huge pond. So for this example, we're gonna use the example of an accountant. It's tax season.
Gotcha.
So let's take the example of a personal accountant that sells taxes services locally. So let's say the potential customers are around 100,000. Can you see the slides, by the way?
The slides, yeah, right here.
Yeah.
Perfect.
So if, as an accountant, if I don't have any niche or focus, it's basically all those 100,000 people that need accounting, they are part of my target.
Right.
So 100% niche, that's still 100%, 100,000 people, right? No focus at all.
Right.
Because there's so many people, your reach, your ability to put your services, your ads, yourself, your brand in front of those people is much harder. And also because you are not gonna stand out that much, your reach, you're gonna be able to pitch to 30% of those.
Exactly.
So 30,000 people.
Okay.
Right? So far, so good. Now that you're able to pitch to 30,000 people, you need to convert. And because you are competing against all the other accountants doing the exact same thing, your conversion rate might be pretty low.
Right.
So we're gonna go with 10%, which I think is it's still pretty good. And let's say you sell your services at, so that's 3,000 people. You sell your services at 150 just for the tax filling. That's 450,000. Not bad.
Not bad. Not bad
Right.
at all. Yeah.
So now, from the same potential amount of customers, we're gonna try focusing a little bit more. And when I say a little bit more, actually much more. We're gonna try to focus only on 10% of that. And we're gonna see in the next slides the different ways that you can focus, but for the sake of this example, let's say I want to focus on only young families, and I also want to focus with the style. I want to be bold, I want to be kind of rock and roll, hipster kind of vibe. That's gonna, a lot of people are gonna dislike this, but I'm targeting only 10%. And when I do that, I'm able to focus on the people that speak the same language.
Gotcha.
Right, so I want those hipsters, I want to use the same words that they use, I want to use memes that they like, right?
Yeah.
So I'm able to really speak the same language. So by doing that, first, you're going to be talking to only 10,000 people. But because you speak the same language, first, you already know what kind of people they are. So when you do ads on Facebook, you can directly, 10 minutes, choose already which kind of brands they like. It's going to be so easy for you to find them,
Gotcha.
right? So we're going to say that the reach is going to be 70%. You're going to be able to put your ads, yourself, your brand in front of 70% of those of that niche. So that's 7,000 people. That's still much lower than what we had, right? Now the conversion rate, because you are so focused on offering a service just for that niche, you're not really competing against the other people doing it for everybody. You are already seen as an expert. So your conversion rate is going to be much, much higher. So here, 60% of 7,000 is 4,000. You're a little bit higher in terms of number of customers than without focus, but the great thing about focus is because it's not a race to the bottom where you have to be the cheapest to get the customers. Because you're an expert, you're able to say, okay, I focus only on you guys, but I charge a little bit more.
Gotcha.
So you're able to, you can even double the price. Let's say you charge the same thing, but because you know this target so well, you know all the lifestyle, so you're able to create a service that's much more targeted and catered to them. So you will offer a service that has a premium, and the final result is almost 3 times with the same base amount of customers, just because you focus on a specific niche.
Wow. Got a question.
Yes. Let me switch camera. Let's see if we have anybody in the live.
Yeah.
Renee, is everything sounding good? Looking good?
Yeah, everything sounds and looks good. I see everything clearly.
Cool.
Great
Thank you,
presentation.
Houston. All right. Let's switch to Penny right here.
And so my question is, I see the method. It's like a 4-part plan that everyone uses, but this other plan with focus is actually a lot more laser focused, right?
Yeah.
So basically, I'm thinking that like right there at the 3rd or 4th part of it, where you do the conversion part, that's where it gets interesting. So is that where someone would really want to focus their marketing on, is that conversion part, like what, like all their ads and stuff like that?
And that's something we talked a little bit last week, is that you can have the best brand in the world. Let me switch camera for a second so we can see both of us. Here we go. So you can have the best brand in the world.
Right.
If your product is shit,
then
you're still not going to be able to, convert or have a long-term viable product.
What about McDonald's? McDonald's is pretty shit.
Yeah, but the price goes with it, I guess.
That's true. So, the price, yeah.
So that's the difference between a commodity and a brand.
You're right. Yeah.
But it's still a brand because people know what to expect.
That's so true. Yeah.
Right. Next slide is the slide I spent the most time designing. You can see it here. A lot of time spent on the design. So I wanted to explore, and actually this is an open slide because this is not an exhaustive list. But I'd like to hear from you guys, from Brunel. If anybody sees the live right now, can comment. this is different ways you can focus. So as a niche, that's what we just explored. You can, as an accountant, you can choose to focus on a specific target.
Gotcha.
Like either that can be, if it's B2C, that can be demographic or psychographics, their style, their lifestyle, what they believe, what their beliefs are, you know, really honing on knowing that target.
Gotcha.
If it's B2B, you can choose a specific industry, for example, instead of servicing, or instead of selling your accounting services to every company, you can focus on, I don't know, dentists.
Gotcha.
To be clear also, you don't have to choose one or the other. The best is actually to combining a little bit of all those ways together. So you have a very laser sharp focus.
Wow.
So you can also focus by having, as we said earlier, very cool different style. You can choose colors that stand out, and not just colors, but the personality that goes with it.
Gotcha.
So that you should try to displease some people.
Yes.
If some people hate you, other people are going to love you.
Wow, that's interesting. Yeah.
You can try also to really choose some values, and your main value, you really make a brand around it. So let's say transparency is one of your values, or solidarity. You want to make that your brand. You want everybody to understand that's what you do. That's what you're about.
Gotcha.
Customer service, like you want to have that in people's face all the time.
Gotcha.
Purpose or causes, I think every brand should have that in the end. And that's also a good way to have a focus and differentiation. You can, as an accountant, you could be trying to solve all the, the debt problem in the US, or, you want to have a just cause that people can believe in. That's give you focus as well.
Wow.
The last one is offering, and that's a big one. I think a lot of companies are trying to sell a lot of different services. As an accountant, again, you could be doing, taxes, and I don't even know how that thing works in the US.
Neither, yeah.
But there's so many different services. It could be, business accountant, you could be, personal taxes, CPA,
everything.
Legal, you could be trying to offer all of those at the same time. But if you do that, then you're, again, not focusing.
Exactly.
So, and that's what most entrepreneurs are scared of doing when they have an idea, is to try to focus the offering on only one thing. But it is actually not true. You're focusing in your advertising,
Gotcha.
your branding. You want to show them that you're good at that one thing. That doesn't prevent you from offering more. And that's something called the halo effect.
That's awesome, man.
So you advertise one product that you are amazing at, that you want people to know you for, and they will always understand that if they understand that you're good at that thing, they will also understand that you're good at other things that you do. So you can sell your service as an accountant, you do personal taxes, and you're like, hey, by the way, I also do that, and that. And they'll be like, okay, well, you're good at this. So automatically, the halo effect, it's a human behavior. They will think that you're also good at other things.
Yeah.
So to conclude this part of the live, I want to play a little video for you guys from Blair Hans. Is someone that wrote a few books on pricing, creativity, or consulting services. That video a little bit focused on creative services, but that can be applied to everything. And it's about that fear of choosing one door and closing all the other ones.
Wow.
Right? Because that's the reason people don't focus, is because they think if they try to choose one, all the other type of customers, all the other type of services are going to be close to them.
It's greed. Yeah.
And fear.
Wow, fear's bad. Yeah.
So let's play that quick video.
Cool.
Kevin's back.
That's some real nice game, man.
And I'm sure Kevin will get the Easter egg or the reference in that picture. So let's hear.
I just joined. You're putting me on the spot.
Now you don't get the halo effect. There's a huge halo on the picture. If you've never played the game, maybe you don't know.
Oh.
But there's
That's
game called Halo.
Oh man, that's my that's my bread and butter, man. What you know about GoldenEye? Oh man.
So let's hear that small video, and then we're gonna jump into the
All right.
BYOB.
Looking forward to it.
You're standing in a room full of doors, and being a highly creative and curious problem solver, you want to know what's behind every door. So you've structured your business so that you can open every door. And I'm standing behind you and I'm saying, no, you need to pick a door. You pick a door, you walk through that door, and you never look back. And your hesitation is you think that on the other side of that door is one boring, empty, gray room where surely you will be stifled to death, right? But that's not what is on the other side of that door. What's on the other side of that door are more doors. I'm asking you to crawl into a crevasse or a niche, right? And you're thinking, oh, it's so small in there, it's so tight in there. And you get in there and it opens up like Narnia. You need to trust that there is a rich, diverse world where you can express yourself creatively on the other side of that niche positioning. If you can truly believe that, then you're going to be okay.
All right, that concludes our first part of this Let's Talk Branding Innovation. We're gonna jump into BYOB with Bernie. First, do you have any questions about the presentation?
I like that video. I don't have a question, but I like that video. I like
You
the
missed-
style of it and the message.
You missed the part when I mentioned you that if you were still there, you would have changed all my numbers because we went into conversion rates and reach. So we'll talk about that next time, maybe.
That was a
Yeah,
shot.
sorry, my audio was completely shot. I couldn't hear anything that you guys were saying, so I had to do a restart.
We'll change. I think we go back to Zoom next.
St. Patty's Day issues, man. You know, it's always love on St. Patty's Day. Yeah.
Blame the leprechaun, that little bastard.
That's what's up.
All right. So the way BYOB works is so first bring you on Guinness, BYOG, I guess
Oh, yeah.
today. But also we are gonna do a live review of your brand.
Awesome.
And we're gonna try to avoid going into design. Right?
Alright.
We're gonna focus on positioning, what makes you different. And
Yes.
I was very excited to have you join today because
Thank you.
I've been following you on social media.
Likewise.
And you do something that I see a lot of people doing in a so boring way.
Yeah.
You stand out a lot.
Thank you.
So Bernie, well, I'm gonna let him introduce himself, but he works in the real estate industry, and he really has a very different personal brand. So maybe you can tell us a bit about yourself.
Thank you. Yes. Well, my name is Bernie Lawrence. I'm 36 years old. I was born in Barbados. Came to America. Barbados. That's where Rihanna's from, right?
Need some rum to go with it.
Yeah. And then I know they do have that good rum. And then all around there. And then, I went to New York as a child and grew up there for a while, New York City in the 90s, and then came out here to California. And, I never...
We're in New York. You can't skip over that. I'm from New York.
I know that little chestnut. Washington Heights,
right.
162nd Street. I used to live actually right next door to George Washington's house. And it was funny because every morning I'd wake up and there'd be just people in like a bus. Yeah, just like with their old school cameras.
Cool.
Click, click, click. Made you feel like a superstar, but they were facing the other way. Yeah. Like, get out of my
Just
way,
slide
man.
in front of them every morning.
Yeah. So, I came out to California and, I love it out here. I sell real estate out here now. And also that's kind of got me into the marketing business because now I have a brand called Lawrence Exchange, and it's actually basically helping businesses market better, and also just marketing businesses altogether. Kind of multifaceted because, I'm a kind of a multifaceted kind of dude, So basically, that's what I do. I do anything that has to do with business. I'm a big fan of Gordon Ramsay. He's because I like his shows where he goes in and he just goes in and tells the business exactly what to do to make them better. From the customer service. I mean, people know when you're like answering the phone if you're smiling or not. You know, people know that. And if you could teach your employees that, then I bet you there'd be a lot more harmony in the business world, you know, because conflict is very easy to have, especially when there's miscommunication and everything. So it's kind of like a gumbo of all that stuff mixed into one. I call it Lawrence Exchange, you know. Maybe it'll be a lifestyle, you know, one day. But yeah,
that's going to be interesting because that's the opposite of what I'm saying today, right? So.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that's awesome. That makes for good TV. But yeah, so basically, and we just kind of specialize in being yourself. You know, that's the one thing that I think sets us apart, is that we kind of want you to, you know, kind of go inside, because we believe that everyone has a certain story that's like like no one else, like your DNA. You know, everyone has a little thing that no one else has. And if you can, and if you're doing your business, if you can incorporate that into your business, then it'll be a lot easier for you to communicate what you need to communicate, you know?
So let's jump into putting you on the spot, I guess.
Nice.
And, that's amazing because, and yeah, like we've seen different ways of focusing. You're definitely not focusing on the product because you do so many things, right?
Yeah.
But you don't have to, right? But you're focusing in a way, I think, by, you know, sharing so much about your personal brand. I think that's a way to focus, so that either, you know, people hate you or they love you, right?
Right.
And you don't care.
No, not really, because I'm not usually talking to anyone that like would hate me, you know what I mean? Yeah. I'm talking to people who would love me.
So you're already filtering a lot in
Yeah.
that way, so that's good. So how would you, if you had to choose now, how would you describe your audience?
I would say my audience are people who have not only a sense of humor, but not in a brash way. I'm not like, you know, overly outlandishly doing crazy stuff, but people who don't mind a realtor jumping off of dinosaurs, you know what I mean? Like, you know, just stuff like that.
I don't know what you mean.
I had like some video with some dinosaurs in the backyard one time, and it was nuts. Yeah. You know, just like today I did like an ad. I said, I'm not Irish, but I wish I was your realtor. You know, just stuff like that, little stuff. And it's just,
that's a Florian joke. That's a Florian dad joke.
Yeah, I love that one.
And I took it in front of I took a picture in front of my favorite bar, but no one knows it till now, you know? I was like, I drank right here. But just, you know, some people with a good sense of humor. So a lot of my contacts that I get with real estate are people who come to me, and I use that as part of my personality. I'm not a cold caller. I'm not a door knocker. Even when it was cool, I didn't do it. So I needed a way to bring people to me, and I figure, hey, let me just showcase certain things that, you know, I like, you know. So I'll go to the Air Force Base, and I'll just like do some plane stuff, you know what I mean? I'll go to I went to the USS Midway down in San Diego. If you have kids, good place to bring them when it opens. And you know, I did something where, you know, just a theatrical trailer, and I just put my little real estate sticker on the end. So you know, just like put whatever I like, and then, you know, if they like it too, because when you're selling something to somebody nowadays, people don't really care who you are. If you're in that kind of industry, it's basic. Well, I'm sorry, let me back up. If you're not my kind of industry, they do care who you are. You know, they want to know who you are, and you know, the house just sells itself, you know? So if you could just convey, like, if you're a gamer, if you're like a gamer or something, and you're just an introvert, then focus your marketing on gaming. You know what I mean? Like every console's like, it plugs into a home, you know what I mean? So there you go. There's your road to riches right there. Yeah.
So right now, switch camera. Right now you focus on real estate a lot, but you mentioned marketing earlier. So what is your service, your core offering, and is there one? Or...
Yes.
So I guess the question is, do you change how you introduce yourself depending on who you talk to? Do you have different Bernies, or there's only one?
Well, I mean, I always let people who know who I am know, no matter what. But let's say I go to a mixer and it's full of a bunch of realtors, I'm a marketer. If I'm in a mixer full of a bunch of like people who are like lawyers or something, I'm a realtor, unless they don't like realtors. You know, but you know, as far as Lawrence Exchange, it's been growing organically, because I don't really have to give a commercial about it. People kind of see the marketing and they say, who does it? And I'm like, Lawrence Exchange does, and they're like, hey, aren't you Bernie Lawrence? You know, that's how it kind of comes into it. But and that's how it's been going, and I kind of like that. So that's why I really like you, like, you know, like your whole vibe, your whole thing, because I need to refine that actually, because I'm not going to be able to take on a huge client load with this. You know what I mean? And with that, you're going to have to increase your prices, and to increase your prices, you have to increase your value. So I really appreciate what you bring to the table as well on teaching people to do that, you know? But as far as the marketing, I kind of it's kind of like how Bruce Lee, he used to like teach people how to fight. It's like that. I'm teaching people how to fight in marketing. Look in yourself, and I also do, you know, just little things like to help them out. Like I'll film them, or, you know, I'll help them out any way they can. Almost like a Tony Robbins effect, where they can call me at 12 o'clock at night and say, I don't know what I'm going to do for St. Patrick's Day. And I'll be like, why don't you do this? You know what I mean? So it's like a mix of all that.
So to what kind of clients do you do that in marketing specifically?
In marketing, I have a chiropractor that she's really cool. You know, she wants to get everything all up and going. I have a lawyer. I have a dog walker. I have a lot of realtors, you know, because they really suck at marketing, you know.
So that's amazing. You work for your competitors, or you actually make money out of your competition.
Yeah, and that's the whole weird part, because I used to think, dang, they're not going to want it, but I was like, who cares, you know, like. And the thing is, it makes me such a better realtor, because I'm so excited when, like, one of my agents who I just who I market for a lot, she just closed a $4 million sale, and I was like happier than her. You know what I mean? I was like, man, like, so it makes me more happy for like everybody in the industry. It makes me more like, you know, able to, when I see, like, I know properties are coming on the market before anyone else, because I'm dealing with people. So yeah, it does give me an edge. But it's more of a service. I want to be able to transform that and make that to someone else too.
Okay. Yeah. So what are your plans for expansion? What is the next milestone for you?
That's a good one. Thank you, Matt. Well, Mr. Philippe, Matt. Okay. Well, basically, we would definitely want to have a couple more people who are able to do what I do, and maybe make kind of multiply myself and deal with like maybe 5 clients at a time. However, they have to be very, very, they got to be picked in a very fine way. You know,
I mean, you're scared that's not even possible. There's one Bernie, right?
Yeah. So it's like I would either have to have someone who could do something that I don't want to do to free my time up to do what I do. Or the expansion would be to just get to bigger businesses, because that's where I really want to go, is to get to bigger businesses like Pepsi, shout out, you know what I mean? Just like, you know, Porsche, please, you know, like things like that. And also another part of the business would be also consulting, where let's say someone has a fallout with the media. They say something wrong on camera. I sit at home sometimes, I yell at the screen, I'm like, just do this and that and you'll be cool, you know? And no one tells them to do that. And then they just fall by the wayside, and you see their career explode. And I know if they were to just, you know, I'm not trying to be too graphic here, but if they just paid me some money, then I would be able to help them through it, you know? And it's like, and I mean, I'll do it for free for the first couple shots, you know what I mean, with the right person. But I'm saying like consulting would be a big expansion of it, because I cannot reproduce myself, like you said, because it's truly unique. So what I can do is just teach people how to fight, teach people how to market themselves better, you know? It's almost like jujitsu, you know? They don't really like sell a product of jujitsu, but they do jujitsu and they train jujitsu with people. So it's a, you know, it's an art form. Yeah.
Nice. So that's something like, and that's something that's hard for a lot of personal brains, small entrepreneurs, to think about scalability in those terms, because you cannot multiply yourself. Yeah. But at the same time, you want to expand. So, as you said, maybe reaching out to bigger clients. Right. But if we try to go back, and I want just to play devil's advocate here, and try to make you, before we finish this interview in the next minutes, we already actually passed the time. So let's try to, in the next 2 minutes, make you have a choice of one service, one product, one service, one target.
Gotcha. One service would be consultation. Basically,
that's too vague.
Oh, my bad. It would be customer service compliance.
Oh,
Yes.
tell me about that.
Oh my
'Cause
gosh.
You haven't even mentioned that.
I know, I'm so eclectic. Basically, I have a unique gift of actually making sure that customer service, like I walked into Chipotle yesterday, man. They didn't even greet me at the door. The place stunk, man. And the meat, it was cold. You know what?
Mhm.
That gets a D, you know, and that actually trickles down, man. That helps your community. The better the services are in your community, the better they are, the better everything is in your community. So if there's one thing that I would choose to do is to build every single business as customer service. Say hi to everyone that comes into the door, because you never knew who they're
Mhm.
gonna be, who they are, how bad they're gonna yelp you. You know what I mean? And all that stuff, you know?
Yeah.
So it's like, that's the service that I would love to give to every business.
Well, that's the second part of the question.
Yeah.
It cannot be every business.
Oh, got you.
Who?
I would give that to establishments, brick and mortar establishments, especially because there's a society is very fine right now. You know, a lot of people are really like sensitive. So if we can have like a system where everybody can actually comply with a certain like mode of operation, because I feel like businesses operate too independently in that area. You know, just have a strong standard of service. I don't want to have to drive all the way to a nice neighborhood just to go to McDonald's. You know what I mean? I want to go to the McDonald's in the crappy part. Sorry, that's not the realtor talking. In the crappy part, and like so that you know, and I want the same service everywhere. So that's what, and I think that would help society actually as a whole, because I believe that like the better that business is, the better the community is, the better people. I mean, when I was working at Taco Bell, as you know, like I didn't care. Like I did the top customer service. And it helped me all through my career, but people just don't realize that, you know. It's you know, there's levels to this shit, you know. So yeah.
Well, it's amazing. I didn't even want to ask, because it's a big question to ask as to a brand to have a purpose, but you even mentioned that yourself.
Yeah.
You brought out purpose and how that could impact. You know, outside of just, you know, the business that you're helping, that help the community on a larger scale. So that's amazing.
Thank you, man. You know.
Well, thank you, Bernie, for joining us. Thank you, Kevin, and people watching online.
Pleasure. Thank you.
Happy St. Patty's Day. Nice to virtually meet you. When are you coming back to the
Yes,
space?
you too.
We can meet in person.
Oh, that'd be excellent. I appreciate that. I'll be back.
I've been trying to make him come for more than a year.
I know. It's been crazy.
I'll be back tomorrow. So
sounds good. Shoot, I'll be in town probably. Shoot, man.
Right.
Heck yeah.
Thank you, everybody. And
all right, have a great evening. Happy St. Patty's Day. Be safe. Enjoy.
You too, man. Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
You're welcome. Let's bring in this